Jesus is not Santa Claus. Jesus is not Santa Claus. He is not your buddy. He is your Lord. If you belong to the Church of Jesus Christ, He is not your buddy. He is your Lord. He's your God. And He certainly is not Santa Claus. Somehow, some way along the lines, the body of Christ has come to think of Jesus as a get out of jail free card, as a way to get blessings, a way to get promotions and healings and all these things. But the church has failed to understand that Jesus is not Santa Claus. He's not a genie. He's not there to give you all help you reach your dreams and help you reach your aspirations for your life. The whole point is we're supposed to take up the cross and follow Him so that He can give us His aspirations for our life, so that we can put aside the way that we thought we were going to live our lives, take up the way He was going to have us live our lives. We're entering a different time. We're entering a very different time period. And the church really is not ready for what's coming, because the church has spent so much time, especially in America. We are the Laodicean church. If you're not familiar with that, that's from Revelation, I do believe chapter 3, where it talks about the church that is lukewarm, the lukewarm church who is neither hot nor cold. And therefore, because that church is neither hot nor cold, Jesus spews that church out of his mouth. Actually, the word really means vomit. He vomits that church out of his mouth. It's a lot easier to deal with someone who's hot or someone who's cold. Obviously, someone who's hot. You on fire for Christ. Your life is about holiness. Your whole life is about righteousness. Your life is about carrying the cross that the Lord has put before you. It's about running the race the Lord has put before you. It's about pursuing that well done, good and faithful servant. That's hot. But even more than lukewarm, God would prefer someone be cold. And why is that? I mean, someone who's cold, that person knows they don't know Jesus. That person knows that he's not on board with God. That person knows that they are in sin. Even if they deny their sin in their heart of hearts, they know that they are in sin. But what do you do with lukewarm? What do you do with a person who has heard the gospel of Jesus Christ and it's like, oh, that's great. I think I wrote that, but I got other things I'm trying to do too, but I'm gonna hold on to this as well. What do you do with that if you're God? Which I'm not, obviously. It's a lot easier to take someone who's cold and make them hot than take someone who's lukewarm and make them hot, because of the fact that the person who's lukewarm thinks that they already are hot. They think that they're already on board with the gospel. They think they've already done enough to be saved. But I don't know what expression Jesus could have used to emphasize even more that the person who is lukewarm is not saved. Spews vomits out of his mouth does not sound like someone who he's on board with. And that is the church. That's I don't want to say the entire church, but that's a lot of the church. The majority of the church, especially here in America, especially in Babylon, Mystery Babylon, which is America. The majority of the church is lukewarm. I've been lukewarm. The Lord has spent the last year sifting me and my wife like wheat, pointing us, showing that the things that we thought were, the way we were living, we thought was so good, and we thought it was so righteous in His sight. And it's like, guys, the only reason you feel that way is because you're in Babylon and everybody's lukewarm at best. But Jesus did not die on that cross, and is not coming back to be second in your life. He's not coming back to be third, fourth. He's coming back to be number one. And if He's not number one, He won't be anything to you. That is the lesson he firmly affirmed to me, that he's not here to be number 2. He's not here to be number 3. His blood costs way too much for it to not get him the number 1 spot in your life. If you're not willing to give up, if you are not willing to give up family, if you're not willing to give up friends, if you're not willing to give up food and fast sometimes, goodness, a couple meals, you can do it. If you're not willing to give up anything, which is the majority of the church these days, you're not willing to give up anything, then you're not willing to receive anything either from him. Jesus is not Santa Claus. He's not. He's not going to accept anything less than everything, and rightfully so. So the point that I'm trying to make in this one is just examine yourself and see if you be in the faith. Examine yourself, see if you are indeed in the faith, because heaven is a narrow road, and I don't know how we got this idea that it's very easy to get there. It is not an easy journey. It's going to cost everything. You can't get into heaven with luggage. You got to leave it all.